Hey, hello friends. Welcome back to our AWS troubleshooting video series. Okay, this is Hari from High Tech Institution. So in this video, right, we are going to see the next scenario of AWS. All right. So let me switch over, and I can say very good big thanks to people because the very first video itself, many of them gave your support, and I could see many people commented. That's really motivated me to prepare the next video in very short duration. All right. Thanks for the people who were encouraged. So now I'll move on to my next slide. Today, in this scenario number 2, we are going to discuss how are we going to deal with load balancer related issues. Okay, by seeing this image itself, you came to know that we have various load balancers available in AWS. Today, I'm going to talk about majorly two types of load balancers. Okay, one is a classic load balancer, another one is application load balancer. Of course, classic load balancer going to be outdated, very short, and it's going to be no more after a few days. But coming to application load balancer, right, that is one of the important load balancer being using in every project. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about various scenarios, troubleshooting your application load balancer, but parallelly, right, I covered both the load balancer, which definitely, right, will help you to understand the knowledges and sharing the knowledges between these two load balancers. First one, AWS application load balancer not working. When your customer or during your interview, if somebody asking you what you will do when your AWS application load balancer is not working, here is your answer. There was again another different question set. Clients cannot connect to an internet facing load balancer. There's another scenario when interviewer asking you, when client not able to connect to the internet facing load balancer, what is the things you will do, what are the area you will check. Okay, that can be a question number 2. And finally, troubleshooting your application load balancer. Any of these 3 questions, answers are going to be the same. As usual, I'm going to tell you the answers. Before moving on to the answers, right, I'll just show you the current lab setup. We'll see, and let's check what is the issue in that lab setup. We'll start troubleshooting that step by step. Okay, fine, guys. Let me go to my AWS account. Here you can see this is my web application node number 1. This is my web application node number 2. I have a couple of nodes which is part of my load balancer. If I coming here, right, I can show you in load balancer console. I can see classic load balancer available as well as application load balancer available. Both load balancer we are going to check. Presently, when I'm browsing my classic load balancers URL, I'm getting this error actually. I'm getting this error. And same way, when I browse my application load balancer, right, I could see this is my error 502 bad gateway. All right, this is the troubleshooting scenario now. Let me show you. Okay, all these issue when any problem comes like that, what are the area you need to check? So the basic issue for now. We will go deep dive and we'll understand what other issue comes and what are the steps we need to check. All right, so I'll go back to my presentation. All right. First one, when your load balancer, right, either it's throws some issues or it's throwing some error, or which my application is not loading. First, what you need to do, you need to check your load balancer backend instances status, guys. So each and every load balancer, of course, backend you will be having your EC2 instance. You need to check whether the instance is in service or out of service. You need to check. Okay, so whatever the EC2 instances available behind your load balancer, that should be in service. Only then your service will be working. So how can we check? If you go back to your EC2 console, if you go to the load balancer, if you just check any of this classic load balancer, right? If you go to hosted under the hosted zone, that we could see status. As of now, 0 of 2 instances in service actually. When you go inside, right, we could see both the instance number 1 and instance number 2. I mean web node 1 and web node 2. Whatever we are seeing here, right? Both of them showing us out of service. Okay, this is the main reason why my application is not loading here. Okay, here we can check over like this. And if you go to application load balancer, right, here you cannot check the status of any of this. Basically, right, when you go to application load balancer, we will be having a target group actually. Okay, these are the description and about the application load balancer. But when you go actually, right, there is something called listener. If you go, there is something called target group. Behind the application load balancer, we can keep a target group only. We cannot directly mount our EC2 instance. So when you go to your target group, right, over there you could see the status of your specific instance actually. When you click on this, target group, you can go and check. It's showing like unld. Okay, your instance status is showing like unld. Okay, Even when come to application load balancer, you need to check the respective target group. When come to classic load balancer, in the load balancer backend and itself, you can check whether it's in service or out of service. In both cases, right, we could see unhealthy and both status, right, I can see out of service. So in that scenario, due to this reason only, my application is not working. Due to this reason only, my application is not working. Okay, we have identified. So now we need to troubleshoot why this instance goes unhealthy and what is the reason my classic load balancer went into out of service. We need to check all those things. All right. So now I will go back to my presentation. The point number one, we finalized my instances status should be in service, but unfortunately my status goes out of service, and also status is not healthy in the target group backend. It's showing unhealthy. What need to be done next? If your load balancer instance status is either out of service or unhealthy, what you supposed to do? All right. First thing, we need to check whether the EC2 instance status is 2/2 check passed. Okay. If it is 2/2 check passed, your backend hardware of your EC2 instance and backend network connectivity and front end operating system level drivers, everything okay, perfectly running. In that case only, we would able to see 2/2 checks. So now we can go back to our console. We can go to our node. So this is my node 1. We could see 2/2 status is passed. Also in the node 2, right, I could see 2/2 check is passed. There is no problem in that. I could confirm backend hardware, AWS side as well as our side. Both the area, it's good and it's working perfectly as expected. There is no issue in that. All right. Now, what are we going to check? If suppose if this is not 2/2, right, there may be a chances 1/2 or 0/2 also may be coming in. So if suppose your instance is not showing 2/2, there are separate steps you need to follow to troubleshoot it. For that, right, troubleshooting EC2 instances, AWS troubleshooting video number 1, I have already created. Okay, that is separately having separate 7 to 8 different points to be taken care. This video link you need to refer. If suppose your instance is not coming to 2/2, you are not able to connect with your instances, you need to follow this troubleshooting area. If anybody not watched this video, right, no worries, I'll be sharing you the link in this description. Go ahead and have a look on it. By the way, you will came to know about the step number 3. What are the things are there? All right, fine guys. Now for us, no issue. Instance is perfectly showing 2/2. Maybe we can move on to next point. What else to be checked? So here, first we need to check whether all the security group of your load balancer as well as your EC2 instance and ACL for this particular network, everywhere we have opened the required port numbers. Because sometimes, right, there is a chances when your EC2 instance goes out of service, when you are not open the required port number in the security group and the ACL. That need to be checked here now. Okay. So if you come to your load balancer, right, if you go to the point listener, right now we have exposed our application using HTTP protocol and port number 80. And same way, sometime, right, people in real environment, if you go, there may be a chances and definitely they would have exposed their application using HTTPS. That time the port number should be 443. So even you can check classic load balancer. If you go to application load balancer, again they have exposed using HTTP 80. So now what we need to do, once you confirm that in your classic load balancer and application load balancer under the listeners tab, whatever the ports they have exposed, the respective ports need to be opened in the security group. First, what we are going to do, we are going to check the instance, go to security. Here, if you come down, right, this is my security group ID. Here I could see port 80 has been opened. There is no problem in that. My port 80 has been opened. There is no issue in that. Same way, I'll check it in the node 1 as well. If you go, port 80 has been opened. So node level, there is no issue, guys. We could see the port, respective port has been opened. Now we need to check same settings, whether it has been opened in the load balancer level security group. What happens? Sometimes load balancer also has its own security group. We need to come down. If you come down, you will be able to see there is a security group option. Okay, just to open this in new tab. So we would be able to check whether my load balancer's security group open port 80 or 443, whatever. So currently my load balancer exposed to port 80 only. So I'm just checking whether port 80 is opened or not. Yeah, I could see HTTP. It's globally open. There is no problem in that. Okay. Then we could see even application load balancer has its own security group. Obviously, that also should be open only because across the platform I'm using the same security group. So there is no issue. Now we could see even from the load balancer side, even from the instance side port 80, the required port number, whichever the port I used for in the listeners, both of them, right? It's exposed with the proper port number. So if suppose maximum of cases where it will fail is why the instance will come to in-service unhealthy, people might have forgot to open the respective port in the security group and the ACL. Okay, now we checked how we are checking in the security group. Same way you can check it in the ACL as well. You can open VPC new tab. Okay, wherever you created your load balancer, open that. Under the VPC, there is an option called ACL. You need to go and you can check it in the ACL as well. If anybody blocked, even you opened in security group, if you blocked in your ACL level, right, again there will be a problem. So in order to crash verify, right now my instances and things are hosted in the default VPC only. So I'll just open this. I'll go to inbound. This is the ACL network ACL access control list. Here I could see, yeah, almost I gave allow to all. So there is no issue here. I did not specify any type of block rule in ACL. So these are the two key points, guys, you need to keep in mind. Okay, when your instance comes to out of service, your instance level, everything is fine. Next step, very next step, we need to check our security group and ACL. The listener port of load balancer is opened or not. That is very important. So in our case, currently everything is fine. Instance also good, as well as security group, ACL, everything good. I think now we can go to fifth point to troubleshoot next item. All right. Now come to the fifth point. What they are trying to say here: load balancer health check configuration need to be verified. So what happens? Each and every load balancer, it maintains its own health check configuration. What does it mean by health check? Basically, when you take a load balancer, probably there should be a more than one nodes will be there. Minimum 2 instance or 3 instance, 4 instance, depends upon your application requirement. In that case, what happens? Each and every instances to communicate, to sync with the respective load balancer, right? AWS by default, it's introducing, there is a concept called health check. We need to verify whether the properly health check has been configured or not. So what type of, there are multiple different types of health checks available. What type of health check has been configured? Those area, right, we need to cross verify. I'll tell you how to verify that health check configuration. So if you go to the classic load balancer, here you have a tab called health check. Here you can check. So what we have done, we have enabled the TCP/80 as a health check configuration using the TCP/80 port, right? It will try to sync the data and try to communicate each other. And if you come to the application load balancer, right, there is something called listeners. If you go to the listener, when you open the target group again, okay, I think I have already opened the target group. So if you go there, right, there is something called health check here. So here in the place of health check, we use the HTTP protocol. And see, I have created one specific health check.html configuration file. Okay, what I've done, each and every instances. So classic load balancer, smoothly I opened the TCP/80, but here I have configured my health check with TCP HTTP / health check.html. That should be a configuration file, should be there in place inside of your EC2 instance. Only then this health check will work properly. So how can we validate it? Go to your EC2 instance. Just we'll try to connect with this EC2 instance. Okay, let me click on connect. So it will take you to inside of your EC2 instance. We'll go ahead and check whether properly we have enabled the health check. Okay, sudo su. I'm going as a root user. Now I'll check by going into /var www.html in this location, right? When I'm click on LL, I should be able to see health check.html is available. There's no problem in that. So whatever I configured here, right? Whatever I've configured as a health check.html, the same file now, which is available here, there is no problem. Same way, we need to cross verify in the node 2 as well. Okay, go back. So we have verified in the node 1. So we need to check node 2 as well. Let me click on connect. Okay, I will come down. Click on connect again. Okay, right now we are connecting with server number 2. So same way we can check sudo switch user and cd var HTML. In this location, when I give LL, I should be able to see health check has been configured. This health check, right, this is configured for my application load balancer. Okay, this health check has been configured for my application load balancer. So I could see health check perspective also, everything looks good and there is no problem in that. So I don't find any big difficulties in that. So I could see ports and health check, everything properly opened and enabled. If sometimes, right, what will happen, even though everything correct, for resync, what we need to do, if you edit down this health check, if you make any small change or something like that, if you made any small changes, anything in small changes or something, it will try to refresh it immediately. It will try to refresh it immediately. There may be a chances to bring in service, but again, no, we failed. So sometime, luckily, it will work. Okay, don't ask me for any logic and all, because when you click on edit health check, either here you can edit it and here you can edit it. Wherever you do your modification, just it will try to reconnect the services and things and stuff. It will reinitiate it. By the way, there may be a chances of bringing it to in services. Okay, which happened for me, but now it is not coming up. Not an issue. But however, we could see load balancer health check has been configured properly, even for classic load balancer as well as application load balancer, both areas health check has been properly made. So now we'll go on to sixth step. Okay, now what we are going to do, try to restart the application service inside of backend EC2 instances. Why they are telling, see, my instance is properly running, we are able to log into the servers. Also, I could check my security group port, required ports are opened, ACL required ports are in open state only. When I checked the health check configuration of my load balancer, everything properly set up. So finally, point number 6, what they are suggesting, we can go ahead, we can try to restart the application service. So we can go inside of the EC2 instance, we'll try to restart the application service. So there may be a chance of reinitiating the connection again. There may be a chance of reinitiating the connection to the load balancer. So what we can do, just we can go to the server, we'll run the command systemctl restart httpd. We'll run the command systemctl restart httpd. Service has been restarted. Now what we are going to do, again in the node 2, right, we are going to do the same set of commands, systemctl restart httpd. Okay, when I execute the command, probably no, these both commands are executed. This will be restarted again. So I think this is good. I think we have restarted. Now we can go to my EC2 instance. I can check for my status. Okay, it's still showing out of service. Sometime, right, what will happen, it will take some minimum time actually. So it will not come immediately up. After restarting, right, hardly it took 1 minute or 2 minutes to come up. So we need to wait for that time, because it need to sync, right? Initiate, the session will initiate again. The thinking and things and process, right, will take some time. So if it is still again out of service, what you can do, go to health check. You can try to edit small changes, we can do it. So we can go for reinitiating the stuff. See, now magic happened. So back to in services. See, in live, we have restarted the services. As soon as we have restarted the services, right, I have just simply went and I have just modified the health check. Okay, reinitiated the session. It became in service. Once it became in services, right, what I can do, if I refresh, right, obviously my application should be working. Yeah, perfect, guys. Earlier it was showing me error. Now I could see my application is started loading. Okay, so I could see due to heavy traffic or due to heavy load to my load balancer, my both EC2 instance backend, right, which got more requests, I believe. Due to that reason only, it became services went into hung state or something like that. Okay, now when we restarted the service, it started working. So what about application load balancer? I need to check in the target group, right? It was showing unLD. When I refresh this, I go back to the target group. Okay, if I go to target group 1 again, okay, it's still showing unLD, I believe. So what I need to do, again, of course, I need to go and just try to edit some small settings or whatever over here, so we can try to update the configuration. So hopefully this will also take some time. It will come up. Okay, so minimum threshold is 2. All right. So I'll make the save changes as soon as I made changes, right? So it should be showing me healthy, but it takes some time, guys. For application load balancer, it takes some time. But however, we identified the issue. The services was giving me a problem. Now somewhere see, it became healthy now. Yeah, there is another magic. So it became healthy now. Same way I need to do it for the target group 2 as well. Okay, so when I'm clicking on the target group 2, so behind the application load balancer, we'll have multiple targets, right? So this also became healthy now. So very good. It was showing me 502 bad error, right? When as soon as I have refreshed the screen, yeah, that's really great. It back to so properly loading my application. Some classic load balancer as well as my application load balancer as well as classic load balancer. Both applications have started running. So finally, I can confirm my services whichever running inside of my EC2 instance that went to hung state due to that reason, right? It was giving me them different issues. Okay. Anyway, even though we have identified, we have fixed the issue in the 0.6, There may be some more chances, right? There may be some more chances. What else could be? Okay, hereafter, just for our knowledge purpose, we are going to see few more points. When you check on the 7th point, right, see, check the ALB forwarding rule configured properly or not. So when you go to the load balancer, actually you can close all these. If you go to the load balancer, there's an application load balancer. If you come to the listener, right, there's a forwarding rule we usually will be configuring. The forwarding rule, when you click on view or edit rule, you would be able to see what are the rule has been configured. See, in my application, if somebody searching like training, it should forward to target group 1. If somebody searching like track, it should forward to target group 2. So it will vary, guys. It depends upon your application, it will vary. You need to make sure whether your guys are properly configured the target group and port forwarding, all the ALB forwarding, everything configured properly or not. That you need to verify it. By click on this, you can edit the rule. By click on this, you can add the new rule. Okay, this is another key point you need to keep in mind. Even though after restarting the service also not working, you need to come over here, you need to check the rule, you need to edit the rule accordingly. Okay, this is something called ALB forwarding rule configuration. Okay, now what could be the another reason? So you need to check whether the private or public subnet, okay, whether your subnet level any changes has been recently happened or what. Okay, where your load balancer is located. If sometime, right, if people forgot to attach the internet gateway kind of things, right, your VPC, when it doesn't have the internet gateway, that time also it will not load properly. That is another reason. So how you can confirm it? You can go to VPC again. Okay, so in the VPC you can confirm it whether your VPC has been properly configured or not. I'll show you where to check. Okay, if you go to VPC, as of now in my account, I have 2 VPCs with me. By the way, this is the VPC only I configured for my load balancer instances, everything. If you go there, we have a subnets for the specific, default VPCs. Okay, so if you go to the internet gateway, right, here we can confirm whether my default VPC has internet gateway or not. Sometimes when people are not attached to the internet gateway to my default VPC, right, there could be another reason. Publicly, my services will not execute. Publicly, my services will not execute. This could be another reason. All right. So that is what they have mentioned over here. In point number 6, right, even though if everything good, you can go to cloud trial. You can check whether is there any recent changes happen to your backend instances, or is there any recent changes happen to your load balancer. Those information, right, you can check. If anybody recently made any changes, right, that could be also the reason. You can search like cloud trial here. You can check for any activity, whether you are predict any activity for this instance. Anyone recently did any particular activity, you can confirm that. Just go to event history. Here you can check the list of event actually. Okay, what happened, who did it. You can even go with a resource name. You can search with the resource ID, the particular instance ID or whatever. You can search whether anybody recently modified anything, or anyone recently terminated or recreated. So whatever activity they have performed, right, that information you can get it from here. So you will get some idea. Okay, due to this recent changes only, this problem occurred, like that you can confirm. And finally, right, all these things are checked, but still you don't have any solution. Mean, go ahead, stop your instance from the console and start your instance from the console. How you can be doing it? So just to close all these, go to your instances. Here there is option. You can click on this. Okay, you can go to stop the instances now. Once you have stopped, right, once completely stopped, it will be showing you like this. Okay, it will be showing you in this state. Again, you have to go and start the instances. By doing stop and start, right, is there any backend hardware? Is there any backend failure, right? So we can make sure that particular hardware will be moved from one physical host to another physical host. That is happening in the backend of AWS. Okay, this is the another reason. All right, so these are the areas we can check, guys, again. All right, fine. Guys, this is all about the troubleshooting scenario when load balancer, application load balancer, or classic load balancer, whatever which comes for failure state. Hope this is really useful to you. You can make sure to check all these points when you are facing any issue. Okay, now what I strongly recommend, similar way, I'm planning to make many videos and many different AWS scenarios. If you guys specifically want any particular issue or any particular topic, you can feel free to mention in the comment box. Okay, so based on your input, I can prepare a video. All right, that will be useful to you as well as I'll get some content to prepare a video. So it's totally up to you. Whoever watching this video, go ahead and mention your topic, whichever you would like to have next videos, right? Go ahead and make sure put it in the comment. So accordingly, I'll create a videos. Okay, and fine guys, apart from that, anybody would like to go with AWS and DevOps training? Okay, forget about the general training in YouTube, Udemy and all, and even other people, in other training institute, people are taking many trainings. That is theory, just the theory and the installation stuff. But here, real-time project-based training, okay, with live environment, live setup, a real customer use case based training, live project based training. Okay, anyone wanted to learn with the daily use cases, you can either call or WhatsApp to any one of this number. So we'll be there to provide you the real time project based training. Daily basis, we'll be discussing different scenario like that, different problems like that, customer use cases, how it will be on the real project, everything we'll be discussing it. So anyone need a live training, please reach out to any one of this number, either phone or WhatsApp. We'll reach out to very affordable price. We'll be giving you training. Okay, you can never imagine the prices. And fine, guys. I'm coming to this channel, right? If you subscribe our channel, this will be more motivation for us, which pushes to put more videos because we are spending some time, we are researching some data, we are giving you content for you. For in the purpose of appreciating, you can simply click on subscribe our channel. Regularly, we are planning to update these kind of videos and things for you. So that will be benefited for you as well as benefited for us. Okay, thank you. And thanks for watching this video. Have a good day, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.